Why am I spending $80 on a Mario Kart game when I can go spend less on another game that maybe is a longer gameplay and looks better? They have yet to answer that.
Let's go!
Welcome back to another video, guys. This is Fandom Fix. I'm Jonathan. This is Austin. And today we're going to be talking all about Mario Kart World. We're going to talk about what we've seen so far, what we like, what we don't like, and we're going to be guessing on what's to come. Maybe this direct on Thursday coming up this week. We'll find out a lot more. And then we're going to talk about, is it actually worth $80? So, Austin, let's get into it. Based off what we've seen so far with the treehouse and then some of these live events that people have gotten to play the game, what are your thoughts on the game so far?
Yeah, I thought the announcement for this game was incredible. I thought that was the best part of the direct, and I think it was the treehouse even just up the ante on that front. And I think what was so great is that there's a lot of controversy around Switch 2 with release date, price points, etc. You scratch all that out and just look at pure performance, pure visuals, pure gameplay. What we've seen so far, this game is going to be amazing. I mean, you can't knock on a Mario Kart game. Mario Kart games have been doing great since the Super Nintendo. And so you have something and you see the evolution of a game like this and where it's come from. And honestly, the jump from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe to Mario Kart World seems like 2 games past that. Honestly, like it seems like this should be like Mario Kart 11, just the way that they've updated the mechanics. Because you have open world, you have new modes, you have continuous driving around the world, you have 24 players. Like, it's changing Mario Kart in a way that's just we really didn't even think about, or at least I didn't think about. And so to see this game and the gameplay, I don't know a lot about this game yet. Is it worth, I'm still questioning, is it worth $90 for a physical copy or $80 for a physical copy? That seems crazy to me. That's more than I pay for high quality PS5 games. But the fact of the matter is this game, based on people that got first live reactions to it, based on the treehouse live stream, all that kind of stuff, it looks really good. And it's polished. Like, the animations in the game, like with the characters, every character has a different animation. The cars react differently to different situations. There's different environments in this game. Like, this game is functioning like a Forza game would, like, in terms of racing games. Like, Mario Kart's never done anything like that. It's always been super whimsical, but it's like they're kind of adding a little bit of realism to it. And on top of the whimsical aspect that Mario's already loved. So just from first reactions, I think, I would buy this game in a heartbeat. May hurt my wallet a little bit. I think getting it with the bundle is going to be the better deal. But I'm really interested to see what we get with this direct on Thursday, because I think it's going to open up the can of worms on what we're going to see.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Austin. Like, first look in the direct and the treehouse, I mean, it looks absolutely incredible. I know that everyone was speculating, because when they showed off the Switch 2 originally back in January, they gave us what was that, a 20-30 second clip?
Yeah, it was nothing.
And nobody could tell anything, right? We had no idea there was open world. We had no idea. People found out 24 racers by doing some detective work. But you're right. They made multiple big steps for this iteration, and it is going to feel like, I think, their biggest leap forward in Mario Kart in history. And I think that's what I'm really excited about. There's going to be all new mechanics to learn. There's a bunch of new characters. But I agree with you in the way that the game looks is incredible. You're right. It's way more whimsical. There's like a lot of animation, the way the cars are flipping around. And I saw one clip where Mario got hit by a blue shell and actually landed on his head for a second before he flipped upside down. And so it's just a lot of fun. I think you're right. The knockout mode, from what I've been hearing and seeing, that looks like the most fun and intense mode, kind of like a Fall Guys-esque thing where you have to stay at the front of the pack or else you get eliminated.
Yep.
But going through all the different terrains and all the different parks seems really, really cool. There's definitely a lot more that I want to see about it, but I'm curious, what are your thoughts? What do you think is the biggest thing that they're going to show in this direct?
I think the open world piece is the biggest question here. And I'm curious to your thoughts on what you think this is going to entail. But there hasn't really been a whole lot shown with the open world side of things. Like, we pretty much can guess what the general just race mechanics are going to be, because Mario Kart's never really changed the game too much on that front. I do like that you're driving from race to race instead of kind of like load screens, which is pretty awesome. And you're going to get to see a lot of, I think, different aspects of the world there. But the open world style, I mean, how do you do an open world Mario Kart game? I mean, the only thing I can think of open world for racing games is like Need for Speed. And I remember, when I remember driving around like Need for Speed Undercover, and you're, pissing off the cops, and you're driving around and you're getting chased down. Like,
Yeah.
that's the only thing I really can think of, like driving around an entire city. But there really still wasn't much to see in those type of games. So you put Mario Kart in that instance, and you're thinking, well, there's all these whimsical worlds, all these different styles. Like, what are we going to be collecting? I think the Direct is going to be telling us a couple different things. I think it's going to be telling us what collectibles can we find in this open world, because there's going to be collectibles. Is it just those different outfits? Like, because to me, that's kind of lame if you're just driving around looking for different outfits. Or is it like new map mechanics, new cars, new paint jobs? Like, are you gonna be able to pull into a garage and get like Need for Speed did or Grand Theft Auto? Like, is it gonna go that direction? And I also think, like, are there gonna be mini games? Like, usually when you think of open world style, there's mini games, there's different like activities or clues or puzzles you can do. Like, if you're doing open world with a friend, like you and me, like, can we jump in there and can we drive around and hit up like a mini game and we do like a time trial thing in one area? Like, is that how it's going to be? Because that's what I think they have to prove here, of saying, hey, we're giving you Mario Kart. We're adding so many cooler maps. We're adding 24 players. Cool. People will buy it for that. But the biggest question is like, $80. Why am I spending $80 on a Mario Kart game when I can go spend less on another game that maybe is a longer gameplay and looks better? They have yet to answer that. And, you and I were talking before this, we got on this call. The Nintendo of America, president was saying that there's a reason that it's $80. Like, it's worth it. And like, obviously he's an exec. He's going to say that kind of stuff. But he's saying, wait till the Direct. Like, we're going to show you something. So I think that's what they're going to show us. They're going to show us a lot of different elements within an open world that gives the player a reason to say, hey, when I put that race down with my friend, I could sit there until 2:00 in the morning by myself, driving around this world, exploring and seeing how amazing this world is, and finding things that give me clues to the larger Nintendo world, but also just like allows me to collect things that maybe I can find before my friend or whatever it is, and gives me an upper hand to maybe level up your character better than your friends. Like that's kind of what I think we're going to get.
Yeah, that's a good point. That does sound interesting, to be able to kind of maybe upgrade your stats as you go through it. I agree with you. I think the free roam is kind of the biggest question mark, just because that's brand new in a Mario Kart game. And everyone, when they saw it in the trailer, was like, whoa, that looks amazing. But then they're like, okay, but what do you actually do in the free roam? So they're going to have to show us more. I think you're absolutely right on the collectibles. There's no doubt about it. There's going to be lots of collectibles. But I think it's going to need a little bit more than that. I think it's going to need some sort of like mission or, objective based story, maybe loosely. I'm going to loosely say a story mode, but there's going to have to be some sort of objectives and some sort of missions that you're going to have to go out and complete, and that's going to help you get the collectibles, see the world, get used to the tracks. And I think that's going to be like, a good way for everyone to know how to play the game well, learn all the tracks, learn all the new mechanics that are in this game. And that's what's really going to set it apart with that $80 price tag.
Yeah, I mean, Mario Kart's never had a story, right? It's just been a general racing game. But to your point, what if we had a situation to where that, like, I'm not saying the entire game has to have a story, an overarching story, but like, what happens if like you drive into the Donkey Kong spaceport race map, and you're driving around, you're free roaming, you're looking around, and you see Cranky, Diddy, Funky, like all these different characters in different corners, and you can talk to them. You can drive up, talk to them. They give you something special. Maybe they tell you about a secret. You go find it somewhere else, like typical, platforming open world games. Or maybe something like you go to Bowser's Castle and Boo's there, and it's like, oh, I'll give you an upper hand on your opponent if you do this for me. Or I don't know, like, what if there's like mini quest type situations with that? I mean, you look at the footage and you see different things where there's like pit stops or like drive-in like theaters or like drive up like burger joints or whatever. Like, I mean, I'm speculating based on what I saw in the footage, but like there's areas to where like it's kind of like a lived in, breathed in world that we've never really had before, because there's always been barriers.
The barriers are now kind of you can interact with them. There's no boundaries. So you can definitely kind of jump in. I think they are definitely going to bring in some of that world and allow you, like driving on water, for instance. That's like wasn't even thought of before, and now it's like you go off the track, you drive on water, and your cart turns into like a a water bike or a jet
I know.
ski or whatever, and you're doing all sorts of new stuff. So I really hope that they have. I mean, if they have some NPCs with some dialogue, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it would be basically like Bowser's Fury, Mario Odyssey, this Donkey Kong Bonanza coming out, but Mario Kart, like
Dude,
like interactive qualities that you never had before. So it'd be wild to me. I
that
guess
would be
my
really
question
cool.
for you is, what would make it worth the $80 price tag on this game? Like, I know you're pumped about this game, like you're gonna buy it
Yeah,
regardless, but like for you to say by the end of you finishing this game, like because I know you're gonna explore every corner of it. So like
yeah.
at the end of you playing this game, what's gonna make you feel like that was worth me playing? Like that made it better than anything I've ever played Mario Kart wise.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think Mario Kart is obviously going to have replayability because it's one of the best party games to play with your friends.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, obviously, I've had on the Switch since I got my Switch, and I don't know how many hours, but at least 150 to 200. Nothing crazy, but I've consistently racked up hours the entire time I've had my Switch, just because it's a great game. People love
Oh
to
yeah.
play it, and so
Always.
I think Mario Kart World is going to be that. But everyone expects that of Mario Kart World. So that's not what separates it as $80. I think you're gonna have that. You're gonna have that replayability. But I think what you're now gonna have is this story mode, mission mode, whatever you hope to get out of the free roam, that's gonna have to be pretty hefty. I think there's gonna have to be a substantial, maybe, you know, 40-ish hour like single player adventure that you're going to have to go through. And to me, that would more justify the $80 price tag of like, okay, I'm going to spend 40 to 50 hours getting collectibles, doing some of these missions, and then I'm still going to put in 200 hours over the lifespan of the Switch 2 plus playing more games with my friends. And then I really hope that they boosted the online play, whether that's like free roam with friends or competitive with friends or random people or whatever. I think the online play is also going to help it get to that $80 price tag if that comes well supported and is backed up with fun things to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I know we're going to find out a whole lot more on Thursday, which both you and I are looking forward to that. I'm sure we'll have another video talking about what we learned there. But for now, we're curious what you guys think. What have you thought so far about the game? What do you think they're going to show Thursday? And is it going to be worth $80? That's a pretty hefty price tag. Let us know in the comments. Thanks for coming to watch the Phantom Fix. I'm Jonathan. This is Austin. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one.
See ya.